इन्हां प्रोग्राम्स विच हमेशा ही साडी कोशिश हुंदी है तुहानूं एजुकेट करन दी, इनफॉर्म करन दी ते इंपावर करन दी ते खास तौर ते स्पिरिचुअलिटी दे बारे भी हर रोज़ तुहाडे नाल सांझ पाने आ। अज तुहाडी मुलाकात करवाउण जा रहे हां भाई साहब हरिनाम सिंह खालसा नाल, जिहड़े कि किसी भी इंट्रोडक्शन दे मोहताज नहीं ने। ये लंबे समय तो सिੱਖੀ ਦਾ प्रचार कर रहे हैगे ने ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੁੱਖ ਉਦੇਸ਼ ਇਹੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਸਕੀਏ, ਜੀਵਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਡਾਪਟ ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ ਅਤੇ ਉਸ 'ਤੇ ਤੁਰ ਸਕੀਏ ਅਤੇ ਆਪ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਰੋਲ ਮਾਡਲ ਇਹ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਗੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਭਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਅੱਜ ਆਓ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੁਝ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਬੇਸਿਕਸ ਆਫ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਮੁਨਕਰ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਧਰਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਪਦੇਸ਼ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਸੀ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਉਪਦੇਸ਼ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਪਰਿਵਰਤਨ ਲਿਆ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। स्वागत करते हैं हरिनाम सिंह खालसा जी का। जी हाँ जी, वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा,
वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।
So once again, Bhai Sahab, pleasure having you. Thank you for your time.
My privilege.
I would like to talk to you about the basics of Sikhi today. As to we know God is one. When we talk about the Mool Mantar, He is Nirvair, Nirpao. He is not afraid of anyone. These are the basic universal things which we know. But the idea was, I know that Harinam Singh Khalsa is very good, and I keep on praising you, but that is not having an impact on my life. Then it seems that there is a difference between what I am saying. It's more of lip service rather than doing of Kathni and Karni, that what I am saying I am doing also. And that's what we are finding today amongst the Sikhs also. Whereas the Sikhs, when we talk about the pristine glory, and we are very proud of it, we should be also. But the time has come that you cannot survive just on the contributions of your elders. You also have to make a mark for your younger generations who are coming forward. And finding this dichotomy, not the youngsters, when they find that we are saying something else, doing something else, and that's why they many a times, even amongst the Amritdhari Sikhs also, they start raising fingers and pointing out that what is the purpose of getting baptized, what is the purpose of following this particular path, when actually what we are saying is different than what you are saying. So this all basic thing what we are talking about, when you talk about the basics of Sikhi, it was very simple, but we have made it more and more complicated. With your experience being in Sikh religion for the past 37 years, if you can let us know as to what was it which today, still today also you are, I would say, mesmerized by it, and which the common person also can adopt in their own life so that they can become better Sikhs.
Yeah, you know, it starts for me with Ekonkar. Somebody said to me, explain to me what is meaning Ekonkar. Now we could say literally, could mean God is one, this and that.
Right.
But I say that it means me and God, God and me are one.
Right.
So there's no separation. So in traditional faith beliefs, and certainly in this Judeo-Christian Muslim sort of belief system that we live in, they've created a separation between you and God.
That's right.
That you had to go to somebody, or you had to use somebody, something like this, to find God. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, no, he said God lives inside of you. God and me and God are one, Ekonkar.
Right.
So that to me struck a chord. I said, okay, then what is the oneness in me? What is the oneness of God?
Right.
And then I looked at Mulmantar, Ekonkar Satnam. So okay, there's one God, and God and me and God are one, Satnam. The reality of the truth, of the identity of that is the truth, is the Satnam, is truth. So Ekonkar Satnam Kartapurk. So what is the nature of that one God that's true? Is Kartapurk, does everything.
Right.
Does everything. Does some things, does a few things, right? Does everything.
Everything, yeah.
So so if we just even stop at that point, right, of Mulmantar, which is the root, the foundation, right? Then we look, there's one God who lives in me, whose name is the reality of myself in my own truth, and does everything.
Right.
Now, if you just took that concept and lived by that, we'd find unity.
Right.
Because why? Because Guru says, see the light that lives in the heart of every soul.
Right.
So if I look at you, Harpreet Singh Ji, I see your beauty, your light, where you are. I don't just see what's your makeup, what's your list, how tall you are, but I see that in you lives that breath of God.
Right.
So Guru says, if in every person lives that breath of God, we say Pavan Guru, right? Pavan means that breath which exists within us. Guru is that which transforms us. Why Pavan Guru? Where are we without our breath?
Yeah.
We're gone.
Yeah.
Right? We leave. So what we see through these eyes as Sikh, what we see, believe, and trust through these eyes are very important.
Right.
If we don't see the light of that God, we say if you don't see God in all, you don't see God at all.
Absolutely.
Simple truth of faith, of Sikhi, right? see the God in everything.
Right.
That is Vaheguru. The true Vaheguru,
Right.
mantra of ecstasy, is see the God in all.
Right.
So every Khalsa, every Sikh has to ask that question of themselves. Do I see that light in all? And do I see the oneness of God? Simply believing those easy principles. And that's all I go back to. My mind might go this side, that side, up, down, this problem, that challenge.
Right.
But I go back, it's okay. Ek onkar satanam karta pork. Nirbo nirver. That which is the doer of everything has no anger,
That's
has
right.
no animosity. So what am I fighting for?
Right.
Understand you?
Yeah, absolutely. That your perspective changes once you start understanding Gurbani. And when you talk about the duality of the mind goes every place. And to concentrate, make the mind concentrate on the Shabad of the Guru, what needs to be done? Because in one of the programs you talked about the alignment of the mind, body and spirit. So over here we always talk about the mind, that especially when you are, people say when you are sitting and doing part, your mind just runs everywhere. So how to control and tame that mind, what the Guru has said, and bring it in alignment in the basic philosophy of the Sikhism?
Well, you know, I sometimes people, oftentimes ask me that question. If you take a tabla drum,
Right.
you know that underneath that tabla is that roll, right? That
Right.
circle thing, right? If you take that tabla drum off
Right.
and you try to play it, what can happen? It goes this way, that way, you can.
Right.
But as soon as you put it on that foundation, that
Yeah.
round thing, da, 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 right, boom, you've got
Absolutely.
your playing. Mind is that same way. It's going to go this way, it's going to go that way, you're going to have many thoughts. Subconscious mind releases 1,000 thoughts on every wink of the eye.
Right.
1,000 thoughts. So what did Guru Nanak Dev Ji say in first party of Japji Sahib? Socha soch na hovi, jai sochi lakava. There's 1,000 thoughts, not one belongs to you. So he said, what did he say? He said, you think, but you don't think. But you think,
Yeah.
but you don't.
But you don't. Yeah.
Right? So right in the beginning, he said, stop thinking.
Right.
So we think so much that it clouds our ability to live. So Guru Sahib brought such beautiful technology of Simran, Nam Japo, of Bhat, brought such simple way for a person to become relaxed, to practice, to have a clear mind and an intuitive mind.
Right.
More than anything else, we call that the intuitive mind is the most highest mind we have, which Gurbani opens the channel to
Right.
our intuition, to know the unknown and see the unseen. Guru promises. We don't trust that. And that
Right.
goes back to when I talked about body, mind, and spirit.
Right.
When I started meditating before I became a Sikh, I started meditating, I was 14 years old.
Right.
Long time ago, before anything was popular.
Right.
But I said to myself, I can't sit still. And whatever it was, I couldn't sit still.
Right.
Then I learned that if I exercised before I began meditation, Simran, then my body is relaxed, my breath is more full, and I have a greater and deeper experience.
Right.
And that's the way I learn it and live it and teach it. That if we can't relax our physical bodies, so, if before you read Pat, you have a cup of sugar with a little bit of cha, right, which is how we drink it, right?
Right.
More sugar than tea. How is your nervous system going to be able to respond?
Right.
The Shabad of Guru is a very powerful, powerful technology that moves through the body system. It's not just from the head.
Right.
It comes from the entire being. It's a technology which is not matched on this planet.
Right.
Shabad Guru.
But everything is cause and effect, as you said. What you have mentioned is very important, and I would like to have more information about it, because when you're talking about surrender, that's what you have emphasized just now. After this break, surrender to what? And let everything happen as it is, or use your mind also, because there comes again a duality. If everything is being done by God, then what is a human being going to do? We'll talk about this after this break. So ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਭਾਈ ਹਰਿਨਾਮ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਹੁਣ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੂਲ ਮੰਤਰ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਏਕ ਓਮਕਾਰ, ਰੱਬ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਹੈ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਹਿਸਾਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਕਿ ਰੱਬ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਰੱਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਰੱਬ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਦੂਸਰਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਰੱਬ ਹੈ। ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਨਜ਼ਰੀਆ ਬਦਲ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਦਲ, ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸਮੱਸਿਆਵਾਂ ਹੀ ਦੂਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੀਆਂ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਹੋ ਜਾਾਂਗੇ, ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਾਂਗੇ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੈਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਡਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਰੱਬ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਡਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ। ਇਸ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਰ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਇਸ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ।
ਘਰ ਇੱਕ ਐਸੀ ਥਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹਰ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਨਿੱਜੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਸੁਨਹਿਰੀ ਪਲ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰਿਆ ਜੀਵਨ ਬਤੀਤ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਪੂਰੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਜਦ ਕਿਸੇ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨੂੰ ਸਜੇ ਹੋਏ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਬਦਲਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ। ਨਵੇਂ ਘਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਰੇਮਿੰਗ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਤੱਕ, ਡ੍ਰੇਪਰੀ, ਪੇਂਟਿੰਗਸ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਡੈਕੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਐਕਸੈਸਰੀਜ਼ ਤੱਕ, ਤੁਸੀਂ SK ਹੋਮ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਰਵਿਸਿਜ਼ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੁਪਨਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਹਕੀਕਤ 'ਚ ਬਦਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰੋ ਸੰਦੀਪ ਕੌਰ 6048259295।
ਸੋ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਆਪ ਸਭ ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਰਿਲੀਜੀਅਸ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ। ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਭਾਈ ਹਰਿਨਾਮ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ, ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੀ ਹੋਈ ਸਿਧਾਂਤ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਸੁੱਖ ਦੀ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਕੜੀ ਲਿਆ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਭਰੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਜੀ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਪਾਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਇੱਕ ਐਸੀ ਦੌੜ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਸ ਗਏ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਧਾਰਮਿਕ ਵੀ ਅਖਵਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਨਾਲ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੌੜ ਬਣ ਗਈ ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਉਸ ਕਾਰਨ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਜੀਵਨ ਦਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਕੀ ਹੈ। और इस बारे और गलबात कर रहे हैं। So before the break, like you were talking about the basic concept of God, and to understand and see God in all, otherwise you will not see God in anyone, basically, as you said. So when we talk about surrender, that means to surrender yourself to the will of Lord. But here comes the concept of pana, which in Sikhi is quite unique, that whatever happens, accept it as His grace, whether it is happiness or whether it is sorrow, accept it. But we are not ready to understand it, and we are not ready to accept it. Because if if something good happens, then we want to take the credit. But if something bad happens, then we put the blame on God. So what is the concept of surrender in Sikhism?
Gee, you know, what we've been taught is the power of sacrifice. And I teach there's 7 steps to happiness. The first step is called commitment.
Right.
We have to make a commitment to want to trust. Without a commitment to our beliefs, that as soon as you make that commitment, it starts a process.
Right.
Commitment gives you what we call character, which is a way of feeling within yourself. Character gives you dignity.
Right.
You feel good about that. Dignity gives divinity, gives that sense of belonging. Divinity gives grace, humility. So those are the first 5 steps. Happiness first starts commitment, brings character. Character brings the dignity. Dignity brings the divinity. Divinity brings the humbleness, leads us to the 6th, which is the power of sacrifice or surrender.
Right.
In the English way, when I heard the word surrender, you always thought, oh, that was a white flag, I'm surrendering.
Yeah.
But then I learned from our consciousness that surrender means, or that sacrifice means, not that I'm giving up something, but that I'm actually achieving something, and is given through that seva, through that sacrifice.
Right.
And that leads us to our happiness, because at that point there's no fear. What keeps us from happiness, what keeps us from devotion, what keeps us fighting each other, is simply a fear. A fear that I'm not going to be good enough, you're not going to be good enough, there's not going to be enough to go around to everybody. And that mentality that I'm a victim of somebody, it's your fault. We call that blame, complain mentality.
Right.
Buddha says, don't use blame, complain mentality. Take responsibility for what you do and say and your actions. And if you trust in God and Vaheguru, then those actions, those words, those deeds will all manifest back in your abundance, prosperity, and happiness. Coming from that sense that if I give something, it doesn't mean somebody's taking from me. It means, okay, Guruji, you take care of it. When I do matta take, it's not I should just put my head and walk. Every time I do that matta take, same thing. I say, Guruji, I'm your servant. You take my life. You guide me through your hukamnama. That I'll do my best to accept and follow. Right? And in Momantar there is a turning point. Ekonkar Satanam Kartapurk Nirbo Nirvera Karmut Ajani Seva Guru Prasad, the blessings of life. Then the hukam comes jap. Jap. It's the order. Jap. Meditate on what? Ad such, to God such, have be such, Nanak, hosi be such. To remember the universal understanding, Ad is such. Ad means primal or first. That in the beginning, that truth was there. Jugad such, the yuga through the ages, same prevailed. Ad such, Jugad such, have be such. Today, that same truth. Nanak says, and forever it shall be. Nanak hosi be such. And forever, Guru Nanak says, it shall be. So what's our problem? We're given everything,
Yeah.
told exactly, perfect science,
Right.
and we don't trust it.
Mm-hmm.
So our own mistrust, our own anger keeps us from that sacrifice, keeps us from that surrender,
Right.
and allowing the beauty of the will of God, of the infinite, of Guru to bless us.
That's right.
Right.
So Haranamsiji, very rightly you have said that whatever we pursue in our life, if we are not succeeding in that, then we change our strategies to cope up with it and develop something different so that we can be successful. When it comes to spirituality or when it comes to religion, the way we have been preached in the past, if we are finding today that that is not having an impact on us, and our results are showing it, because wherever in the world we are going, these are the basic talks everybody is talking, every Sikh is talking about. So if there has been, in this particular field, we have not been successful, do you think there is a need to overhaul the system and bring in something different so that we are able to basically understand the basic concept, what Gurus have told us?
But there's no new way of realigning it. It's already there.
Right.
It exists.
It exists, but
We're
we're not
not
being
al-
able to communicate, or what is it?
Well, communication, our misalignment to it, it comes down to that same thing of the division
Right.
that occurred, 100 years ago within the Sikh faith, right? That division that came about, that separated us, separated the community, infiltrated the Sangat, broke its spirit,
Right.
and took away the essence. Because why? Because there was fear of the strength
Right.
of what a Sikh was and what a Sikh represents, because a Sikh would give their life before anybody else.
Right.
But that power of that was too strong for the ruling forces.
Right.
So still, because it's so young, we're still suffering the effects of that separation. But you know what? People say, well, then why do you do that? I say, because I believe Guru's words are true, shall be true, will forever
Will be
be
true.
true.
Right.
And when Guruji says that unity shall come to those who meditate God's name, who walk in the path of the Spirit, of their heart and the light of this universe through Ekonkar and the power of Waheguru,
Right.
shall be successful, shall succeed,
Right.
and shall help to change this world. I will never stop trusting and believing that to be true. That's
right.
why I serve as best I can
Right.
worldwide our communities to spread that message and live that life, and have given my life to all of you
Right.
by Guru's grace
Very right.
to serve that mission.
So that's that firm trust what you're talking about, that today we are lacking that trust. We do say we trust in the Guru's word, but that is not being seen in our daily life,
Correct.
in our daily dealings. So until unless that kind of firmness comes in our trust, then only we can be successful. That's what you are saying. So how to develop that trust? What motivates you, and how can a common person also have that kind of trust that my Guru is not going to ever think bad of me? Parents never ever think bad of their children. But today we do say the Guru is our light, Guru is our leader, but it's just on lip service. We are not ready, or we are not being able to have that kind of trust. How to develop that kind of firm trust?
Sometimes it's said that spirituality isn't taught, but it's caught.
Right.
Right? The more that we ourselves live in that vibration and that truth, it spreads. And what excites me a lot is that when I see that everything isn't doom and gloom
Right.
in our Sangats, right? There's a little doom, there's a little gloom,
Right.
but there's also a lot of light, a lot of hope, and a lot of tomorrow. Because Guru's words will always guide us through, even though we're having a hard time, even though we lose some of our children, even though some are leaving, but others are also growing, and others can always come back.
Right.
So what I learned was we never lose hope. There's a world called hopeless.
Right.
Doesn't mean no hope. It means sometimes there's a little less hope.
Yeah.
But there's never no hope.
Right.
So we have to keep, and what keeps that going in, for me personally, is my daily sadhana, radhana Prabhupada. If you do that sadhana daily practice, read Path, read Japji Sahib, do the Simran every day, Amrita Vela, Satchanavadi, Vichar, Karmi Ave Kapadu, Nadadi Muktawar.
Right.
Wake up at the time between 4 and 6 when the sun is at 60-degree angle and is ascending, and you yourself in the physical form and mental form we're part of this universe, so
Right.
therefore it has effect. That's why to get up in that time. And Guru says all that karma, all of those actions will be washed free,
Right.
right? If we trust those words to be true, right? So I just trust them to be true. I said, maybe today I didn't do as well, maybe tomorrow. I can't go back and do what happened yesterday.
Right.
I can live what we're doing at this moment. Like also tomorrow can make that even better.
Right.
So we have to keep that hope, that positiveness that comes from our faith and our trust. Not
Right.
just the mind should be positive, excuse me, but when we come from faith and trust, then we'll survive.
Right. So to survive, as you have already answered my question, which was going to be a next question, you are hopeful because the Guru's word is truth and it will happen. So during this phase, when we are in this crisis and we are not being able to find a way, though there is no dearth of the message which is being spread in the world these days, towards the end, what would be you like to tell to our viewers today? And you've already given a a ray of hope that yes, there is a ray of hope because our Guru has said it. But you need to start doing, as you mentioned about waking up in the morning, as is being said, Amrit Vela Sachnahu Vadiyai Vichar. Start contemplating on the name and start following what the Guru has said. So what would you say towards the end?
You know, Guru Nanak Dev Ji taught us to be very grateful. And he was very grateful. And what is grateful? 2 words, great and full.
Yeah.
So let's be great, let's be full.
Right.
And that's all we can say.
Absolutely. Again, it was a pleasure having you. Thank you very much.
Thank you ji. Waheguru ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru ji ki Fateh.
ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਜਿਸ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਤੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਜੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਮੁੱਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਸੀ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹ ਰੈਲੇਵੈਂਟ ਨੇ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਐਮਫਸਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤੀ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ 7 ਸਟੈਪਸ ਟੂ ਹੈਪੀਨੈਸ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ, ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕੰਮ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੋਏ ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਮਿਟਮੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਜ਼ਾਹਰ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੋਏਗੀ। ਕਮਿਟਮੈਂਟ ਅੱਜ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ, ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਧਰ ਵੀ ਭੱਜ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਉੱਧਰ ਵੀ ਭੱਜ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੋਈ ਆਉਂਦਾ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਉਪਾਅ ਕੋਈ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਫਰਮ ਫੇਥ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਉਪਦੇਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਤਦ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਸੁੱਖ ਦੇ ਤਦ ਵੀ ਹਰਾਦੀ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਾਣੀ 'ਚ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਹੋਏ ਤਦ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੱਬ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਆਸਰਾ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ। ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਫਰਮ ਫੇਥ ਆ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹਿਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕੇਗੀ ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਸਿਧਾਂਤ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਰਹਾਂਗੇ। ਆਸ ਕਰਨੇ ਕਿ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਅੱਜ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਜੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦ੍ਰਿੜ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ, ਜੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅਡਾਪਟ ਕੀਤਾ, ਕਦੀ ਸੁੱਖ ਆਇਆ ਕਦੀ ਸੁੱਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਇਆ, ਪਰ ਕਦੀ ਰੱਬ ਦਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੰਦੇਸ਼ ਸੀ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਹ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਟੇ। ਇਹੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਆਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਫੋਲੋ ਕਰ ਸਕਾਂਗੇ। ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੀ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ। ਫੀਡਬੈਕ ਲਈ 604 603 75 55 ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਈਮੇਲ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ harpreetsingh@gmail.com। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮਸ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ youtube.com/harpreetsingh ਤੇ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਪਾਂਸਰਸ ਅਤੇ ਐਡਵਰਟਾਈਜ਼ਰਸ ਦੇ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਬਦੌਲਤ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਅਤੇ ਆਪ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਦੀ ਮੰਗ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਚਲਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਦਿਓ ਥਰੂ ਐਡਵਰਟਾਈਜ਼ਮੈਂਟ ਜਾਂ ਸਪਾਂਸਰਸ਼ਿਪ। ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੋਏ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੇਲਸ ਟੀਮ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ 604 603 75 55 ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ। ਲੈਣਾ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਜੀ, ਫਿਰ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਤਦ ਤੱਕ ਗੁੱਡ ਬਾਏ।